Hi, my name is Quintin Lake from Just Good Work, and I want to talk you through an overview of the Just Good Work platform and how it can be part of an overall approach towards responsible recruitment. Just Good Work is a mobile app that was designed for companies and for workers to help make sure that a worker would know what is okay at every stage of their recruitment and employment. It's designed to help them know in really simple terms, taking both what the law says, but also what other workers' experiences have been, and in one place give them access to know what is okay and what's not okay, all the way from the earliest stages of recruitment when they might first hear about a job from a friend or a family member or from a recruiter, through the application process, to making that transition overseas, through their time in employment, through to when they would leave or move on to something else. It's all in both audio and simple illustration to help overcome barriers for low literacy users. Piloted the app in lots of different migration routes and language and literacy kind of challenges to make sure that it can be really easily accessed and understood by as wide a group of workers as possible. And Just Good Work came about really from hearing stories from both companies and workers about the issues that they were encountering in the recruitment process. From companies, we heard that it was the area that they were finding the most issues being raised by workers, that kind of linked back to the recruitment process, or through to a mismatch in expectations from what the worker had understood versus what the job really was. And from workers, particularly the guy you can see on screen here, his name is Tom. He'd applied for a job in Qatar from rural Kenya, and he'd experienced everything you would hope somebody would not, from paying excessive fees to a recruiter to signing a 2-year job offer at home that was replaced with a 5-year contract when he arrived in Qatar, through to having really poor accommodation, and ultimately the work being quite different to what he had been told it would be. But the thing is, as we got to know Tom and his story, the thing he kept saying is, I wouldn't necessarily tell someone thinking of coming here not to come, but I would just want them to know this is what it would be like. Ultimately, I'd want them to be able to make the decision I didn't get to make because I thought I was choosing something, and what I ended up with was something very different. And so we started Just Good Work for workers going from Kenya and Uganda into the Gulf, and very quickly started getting requests for adapting the app to other countries and other contexts. Particularly during COVID, the app was adapted for Malaysia and the UK, for a whole range of home countries, and that list continues to expand. Now 31 countries and 21 different languages that the app is available in, and it's becoming faster, and the learning that crosses over from one context to another means that the app keeps getting better for workers and for companies as it keeps being available in different places. For companies, we wanted, because workers, as they go through the journey, they can explain what is or isn't happening for them as part of their journey. So, for example, if they shouldn't be paying fees, the app prompts them both to help the worker think about what's happening for them in that situation, but also to say really quickly in response to a spot question what their experience is. And it means that not only does a company that is making it available to workers know that they have all the information that they need to know what's okay and what's not, but they get really quick insight into what workers' real experience is in real time across different parts of their supply chain. And that all of that can help better target interventions where there are perhaps areas that are not working, or understand what is being effective and be able to replicate it and do more. For workers, ultimately, the aim is that they're able to access a good job. It's the reason that they want to go overseas for work, often that there are not enough good jobs at home, or to be able to further their career possibilities and earning potential for the family. So Just Good Work aims to help make sure that they can access safe and profitable work that is free from exploitation. Ultimately, they get that that match of a job and a decision of what they were expecting would happen, like Tom was talking about. For companies, it's a really proactive way to know that regardless of what supplier or what recruiter is being used, that workers are being given the right information across different parts of the supply chain. But also because there's that better match between what a workers are expecting and what the actual workers like, trying to reduce the cost of re-recruitment, of re-onboarding, of retraining. And it's possible to include things like induction content and other information to make that experience even smoother. And we have the ability for live messaging and feedback for workers to be able to push information out in real time through different times of in and outside the workday, so workers know what they need to know at all times. Because you can customize the app, it makes it simple to include everything from particular documentation to for more complex integrations, even to integrate with HR or onboarding systems. You have some companies that have managed to reduce their induction and onboarding process from 8 hours per worker down to less than an hour, because they can include so much information in the worker's own language and keep that easily updated in the app. And often that process can start even in the very early stages of recruitment. So that's part of the aim, is to make the process much better, much more engaging for both the worker and the company, but also to reduce some of these challenges at different stages of the supply chain. And as more workers start to use the app, we start to get insight into what really is their experience, what matters most to workers, where are they coming back to and revisiting time and again in the app. And we find particularly, this is on one of the routes to the UK, that issues around the application process, the different stages of what to know for their application, how do they get help, what do they need to know about fees and charges, all the way through to the different checklists and areas that they need to know at different stages of their journey. So if you'd like to learn more, please do get in touch. We'd be really happy to talk you through how the app is being experienced by companies and workers, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks very much.